One. Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipniewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. Tonight's big live stream, we have Jeremy from Saitanobi, one of the main devs of Saitanobi. So, Jeremy, welcome to the court.
Thank you, and thanks for having me on the show tonight. I appreciate that. You're actually the first female that I've done any AMAs with, and so I was excited about that. So,
Oh, great. Wonderful. Yeah, you got to reach out to more ladies. How about
of course,
Crypto Deb? You should reach out to Crypto Deb. She's good too. I like
well,
her.
I did message her a few times, and she was busy, something with her with doctor's appointments or something, and so I really didn't bother her anymore. Just let her take care of her business, and then I'll hook back up with her in the future. So,
Yeah, she's great because she's very big into the Saitama wolf pack.
oh,
She's
good.
got the wolf pack definitely has her back, which is very interesting because, with Saitanobi, probably one of the biggest things that you're known for is that when you stake your token, you
Mhm.
get reflections in Shibnobi and Saitama. Now, in my head, like you can't get any more Hatfield and McCoy when it comes to Saitama and Shibnobi. So, that was a very interesting thing. And we'll get to why you made that decision. But why
Okay.
don't you tell everybody that's watching a little bit about yourself and exactly what it is you're doing there at Saitanobi? What's your position?
Well, myself, I'm 45 years old, or fixing to be 45 years old. I've been in crypto since about 2018, very lightly in 2018, more so in the last couple of years. And more not so much on the DeFi side. And then I found the DeFi side, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting over here. And then I kind of, decided that I would do a token like this because I got rugged and scammed and cheated and basically people stole my money and I didn't know any better, and so I was like, okay, now I'm gonna have to find out why and how they do this, and then figure out a way that I can make sure it doesn't happen again. And the only way I could figure that out was to do this myself. Um, so anyway, I wanted to create something that was different than the other things that are going on around out there. First of all, I wanted to make something that actually uh, said it was going to do something and then produced something after saying it was going to do something, because that is very rare to find. I mean, it's like, a needle in a haystack, so to speak. Then I wanted to, we use a hashtag say no to faceless crypto. Why would you invest in something and have 100, 200, 300, $400,000 sitting in a wallet with somebody that you never hear their voice and you don't know what they look like, and they're afraid to dox, and they don't want to talk about who they are or anything like that. And I thought, well, wait a minute, the reason why they're doing that is because if this doesn't work, they can do it again and again and again and again. And the victims are the investors who are unknowingly investing in the same things over again with the same person who could just literally get away with this over and over again because he doesn't dox. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, say no to faceless crypto. Here I am, and I'm taking full responsibility for this, and I want my name to mean something and to matter, and for people who trust me and believe in me know that what I'm saying I'm going to produce. So, but what we're doing is we're kind of, we come up with the idea of being able to put the two to get the rewards from both tokens. Like it's you have the loyal Saitama following and the loyal Shinja following, and but you have people that maybe I have people that did not own either token and bought Saitanobi, and now they're getting rewards in Saitama and Shibnobi at the same time. So if you're doing that now, if those you're basically taking a chance on all three of the tokens taking off, and then you could win three ways. It's a triple threat win. Um, but the people that buy Saitanobi, they're not super loyal to one way or another. And then they started working with me and seeing me, and they're like, no, we're staying with Saitanobi no matter what, because we trust and believe him, and we know he's not going anywhere. He does what he says he's going to do. He comes on and keeps us informed, which is all people want. They're just customers, and I just give them customer service. That's my job. The mods in my chat give them customer service. That's their job. The admin helped me do that. And so we're just really just kind of offering something that people can get behind and depend on and count on. And that's what is missing in crypto, I think. First of all, the face, the name, the doxing. I'm doxed with Assure KYC. I'm almost doxed with Certic KYC. We had to do that to get listed on Dojo Swap. We have a tech rate audit on our staking and our token contract. We have onboarded in like 20 something percent on our staking and token contract with Certic. So we'll be 4 times audited and 2 times Assure and Certic KYC. I've got my passport pictures and my driver's license photos. All this stuff is out there, saying who I am and saying what I'm doing. Our contracts have been proven that there's nothing scammy going on there. We've already launched our utility. It's in operation with approximately 25% of the tokens in circulation are currently being staked and earning rewards.
That's a big amount. That's a pretty big amount.
A big amount, and you
And
understand
you've only launched, you said, about 6 weeks ago, right?
February the 5th. Yes, ma'am.
And how many holders do you have right now?
Well, we probably are close to 2,500 holders. I mean, within a few of 25 holders. I haven't 2,500. I haven't looked today. I've been busy. I'm on. See my party shirt. I'm actually on vacation this week in Florida with my kids, so I haven't had a chance
Nice.
to haven't been looking as normally as much as I do, but I'll pull it up real quick and I'll see what I got here. Looks like 2,473 holders, so we're almost to 2,500. We're just 27 holders short of 2,500 holders, and our market cap is really kind of super low. We've got 2,500 holders, so I mean, there's still a good play for people that want to come in and go long term, and 10x, 100x, 1,000x. Our market cap is. I looked at it earlier. I think it was like 5 billion, maybe, or something. 5 million. It is actually 4.5 million right now. So that's a pretty low market cap. It's not 200,000, but if you look at our market cap, you can actually see it's 4.5 million. But look up there at the liquidity.
Yeah, I see. You do. You have almost $1 million worth of liquidity, and that's really good compared to the market cap.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you all these things, and I'm telling the people that are watching all these things. Look at our liquidity. Our market cap's low, but our liquidity is really high. That's a good indicator that we're a stable product, first of all. Number two, we said we were going to launch a utility, and we launched a utility within the first 30 days. That's pretty amazing in and of itself. We have almost 2,500 holders. It's not 250 holders. That's 2,500 holders. So, those are not
So
going
it
to
seems
fall
like
off
people
overnight.
really believe in you guys. Your
That's right.
holders are there. They're holding strong. They believe in the project, and I can tell you're very enthusiastic. Thank you, Ponzi Slayer, for the 2 super chats. I appreciate that, and my cats will really appreciate that. So initially, when I saw the shirt, I thought maybe you were hanging out in the desert of Dubai, but you've opted to not go to Dubai. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh
The
yeah,
decision behind not going?
it was super easy for this. We had some people asking in the chat, because they thought it would be very bullish for us to do that, which it would be. I get it. But I've done trade shows for the last 10, 12 years, and I can tell you they cost a lot of money to do. And it's very hard to get a return back off of that. But you still have to go and do them because it gets your face and you get a lot of networking and a lot of contacts by doing that. It's a good thing to do. A lot of times, if you can break even on a trade show, even break even is a good deal. But the reason why we chose not to do it is it was going to cost us about $60,000 to go and do that, and we're very conservative with our budget. We could do a lot of things for $60,000 with our marketing. We could do a lot of things, just in general. I mean, that's a lot of money to have to put out there to go and do that, and then and not spend that money. Here, progressing the token forward here in America or even around the world with our marketing strategy. I just couldn't see doing that. I told my people it would be like we were so new at the time that we had to make the choice. We were just a couple weeks old. And I said, that's like getting hired at a new job and going and buying a Lambo before you even got through the 90-day, where what is that called? Where you get hired and you have to do like a probation period. Yeah. Before you get to the 90-day probation period, you go buy a brand new Lambo, like
What? You
we got
shouldn't do that? That's bad?
it's just
Uh-oh.
it's bad if you want to survive, you know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
we just couldn't do that. And also for me, I couldn't do it because my this was my kids' spring break, and I'm taking my time with my kids. So I mean, there's no way I'm that. I mean, even there going there would have been awesome. I'm not going to push my kids aside to do that. So
I hear you. Good for you. Good for you. So we do have, a lot of your people in the chat. Thank you very much. We got somebody that gave another super chat, CHF. I don't know what that stands for, but thank you. And they put staking 100 quintillion stake brings currently $400 per month worth of Saitama and Shinja rewards, currently at 7,000 for 100 quintillion. And Hanzu, I can't read that word, multi-chain wallet next coming no brainer. So clearly, this is one of your people seriously shilling there in the comment section, which is awesome. I do have your tokenomics pulled up. So why
okay.
don't we go over your tokenomics from your website? So talk a little bit about this tax. Do you have a buy tax that's cheaper than the sell tax?
What we're 13 in and 13 out. We just keep it even. We're not going to be raising that. It's not going to be where we have a 15 or 20% tax either way. It's just 13 in and 13 out. It's just simpler for us to keep track of it that way. Our taxes, our contract doesn't really allow us to have offset taxes, so we just leave it the same. It's not a priority for us to be able to have those differently or set differently. I think some people do have it that way. I'm not sure that there's an advantage to that, because I've heard both sides of the argument of why it will work and why it won't work. I think that people do that because they want people to hold longer. They want them to buy and they
Yes.
want them to hold, and they want to
Mhm.
penalize them for
If
selling.
they sell.
But the whole goal we have is like we've got a juicy little tidbit over here for them to like we've got staking. So, you know, we don't have a lower sell tax or a lower buy tax because if you're staking, you're making money the entire time you're here. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So for us, it's like, nah, they're going to come and stay anyway because they're going to get the stake and make money. So we shouldn't have a higher sell tax and a lower buy tax. So
Right. We do have a question already from the crypto zone. Do you have a burn mechanism?
okay, so there's been a lot of talk about this right now. We don't have a burn mechanism built in. Our burn mechanism, right now our tokens are locked. We can't take our free tokens and burn them. We don't want to spend our money that we're saving for other exchanges and things for our utilities we're creating. We don't want to spend that buying back and burning. So what we've talked about doing is that our staking V2 is making it so that you have a burn mechanism built into the staking V2. And this is how it would work. If you stake for right now, it's free to stake and free to unstake. You can put your or withdraw. Free to stake, free to withdraw,
So,
and you don't.
for people that are unfamiliar with your token, I don't mean to cut you off, excuse me,
No, no,
but
no.
for the people that are my subscribers, if they're not familiar with your token, let's talk a little bit about that first, because this is your first big utility that if you're staking your token, you're earning rewards in both Shibnobi and Saitama. So we'll just
That's
jump off from there.
okay. And so and you earn these rewards. You can stake your tokens. You can stake the whole lot of them or 50% of them, however you want choose to do that. And if you see right there, if you don't stake them, you still get 1% reflections. If it's just in your wallet, you still get 1% reflections. But if you stake it, it's average like 3.5 to 5% per day of Saitama and Shibnobi rewards. Now you can claim those rewards at any time. Just pay the gas fee. So if you want to let it run for 30 days and you want to pull your money out after 30 days, then all you have to do, I'm sorry, if you want to pull your rewards off after 30 days, then all you have to do is go up in there, claim your rewards, and they'll go to your wallet and be, and then the account will just start over as soon as the claim's done. Okay. If you want to withdraw them, you can do that. There's a gas fee to withdraw them, but there's no penalty right now. So what we're talking about doing to create a burn mechanism is, and to entice people to hold longer, because the more tokens you have staked, it makes you have imagine if you have 3,000 holders, 10 million, 20 million market cap, and 30, 25 to 50% of the supply is staked. That looks pretty legitimate, like as far as long-term hold, those people are going to hold. it's a good play to have because these people are not going anywhere because they're staked. So what we would want to do is we would want to take it to where if you withdraw within the first 30 days, you pay it like a three, and this number is flexible. We have because there's nothing set in stone. 3 to 6% tax for withdrawing in the first 30 days. A 2 to 4% tax for withdrawing in the first 60 days, and a 1 to 2% tax for withdrawing in the first 90 days, and then no withdrawal tax or fee after 90 days of holding. So that would encourage people to hold for at least 90 days. Then what we talked about is since this tax is going to be paid in Saitanobi, it's not going to be paid in Ethereum because it's just going to be part of your tokens coming off. We would actually use those tokens as the burn mechanism. So people who staked and unstaked early, we would burn their tokens. And we wouldn't see any of those or hold on to them. It's just an automatic burn, which would reduce the supply. So people get to stake, they get to unstake, and the people who want burn mechanism, they can have that through the utility because it automatically burns the tokens as they go. So that's what we're talking about in our staking V2.
Okay. Is there a minimum for staking?
No minimum. No. We have you can actually type in how many tokens you want to put in there, or you can use 25, 50, 75%, or 100. And the same thing on the withdrawal. There's a slider that you can select how much you want to withdraw. So there's no minimum or no maximum to put in there.
So if somebody only has $50, the great majority of that is going to be gobbled up by gas fees. And they only they get $10 worth of Saitanobi. They can stake that, no problem.
They can stake that. We literally had $1 buy the other night. We had a $1 buy. We've had 91-cent buy. We've had people that are just putting, because gas at the time was like super cheap. It was like $8 or something for gas. I mean, the total fee was like $12 or $14. But somebody's just saying, well, I've got $20 laying over here in Ethereum or whatever. Let's just go ahead and buy some Saitanobi. And then they buy it, and then they put it in their wallet. Maybe they add it to what they've already got. But we've had new buyers buy $1 worth. We've had new buyers buy $5, $20 worth. And I tell everybody in that those cheap numbers, the $1, $5, $20 are just as important as the 100 and the 1,000 and the $10,000 buys, because overall those people are saying, look, this is all I've got, but I'm trusting you with it. And even if you had $100 in and you 100x it, you could make a lot of money off of your $100, and just put it in there and forget about it and leave it alone. And that's what I tell people do. Don't take money that you're going to have to eat with next week. Don't take your rent payment. That's some bad news in crypto. Okay. Take what you can afford to put in and not have to have next week and just leave it alone. And let's turn it in. Let's 100 exit or 1,000 exit for you, over time. Right. It's a long-term investment. So
let's go back to the chart, because actually right now is a really good entry point, because it looks like you've got some, solid support in this area. So yes, I think actually right now is a really good time. If somebody's interested, this is a really great time to enter. Say, oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I didn't hit the tab that says share this one. There we go. There you go. Okay. Down here, we got some really good support in this area, as you can see. So this is actually a really good place to enter Saitanobi if you're interested. Now, talking about entering your token, how can people buy it? Where can they go to get this token?
We are listed on ShibaSwap. I'll just tell you all the places we're listed where you can find us: CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, ShibaSwap, LBank, Hotbit, and Dojo Swap will soon be listed as soon as they get their liquidity loaded. They've only been putting a few tokens on there at a time, but we're actually listed on Dojo Swap as well, or will be. Let's see.
Are you going to be on Saitamask?
Oh,
that would make sense, right? If you're Saitama and Shinja,
it makes sense to us. And we've applied. We put our name in the hat there and told them, hey, we're ready when you are. We've not got any response back from them, so we'll see. Actually, commented on Saitama Guru's post the other day when he said he had COVID. I was like, hey, sorry you're feeling bad, but if you since you're going to be at home, why don't you go ahead and check out what it's going to take to get Saitanobi listed on Saitamask. Like we've already applied. Please consider this. Haven't heard anything from them, and if they don't, that's fine. It's not going to hurt our feelings any. It would really. Because I think we're about to spend so far we spent $35,000 on Saitama. that makes us a pretty good investor. You know what I mean? We're not just messing around when you spend 35 grand, right? And then
Right.
we have spent $30,000 in Shibnobi, and then we're about to do. I think we did a poll, but we're going to do at least 5 ETH more of each one of those. So I mean, that makes us a pretty good investor in the project. But then we're just turning right around and then giving it to our holders in our staking den, and we're creating more holders because all these people who are staked, some of them didn't have Saitama, some of them didn't have Shenzhen, so they had to,
Right.
now they're holders. So we've
Right.
increased their holding. We're buying their tokens. We're propping up their chart. I mean, I
Yeah,
see
it
that
seems
as a
like it would be a win-win for the both of you, really. But I've heard with to get on Saitamass that your contract has to be renounced. Is your contract renounced?
it's not renounced and it's not going to be. Yeah, it's not
Okay,
going to be
so
that.
I think that might be a stumbling block because all of
It
the
could
other
be.
tokens that are on there have
Yeah,
been renounced. And the
yeah.
people that have tried to get on there, they've made a note of that, like, oh, they want us to renounce. So, we can't
Well,
do that.
and if it doesn't work out that way, we'll just buy all the Saitama tokens we can and all the Saita Realty tokens we can, and we'll just become the largest holder of those tokens. We'll find a way around it some way or another. You know what I mean? If I mean, and somebody
So do
asked
you
me
see a
yesterday.
potential of giving Site a Realty as reflections as well?
Well, yeah, why not?
Okay.
We're
No, I'm
gonna
sorry, I cut you off again, so go on and finish up what you were gonna say. I'm sorry, I keep
no,
cutting you off.
no worries, no worries. Um, I talk a lot, as you can tell. So, but anyway, we want to be able to have we want to be able to have like more options to earn rewards on there. So we're looking at other tokens that we could list on there that are doxed, legitimate, because you wouldn't want to give your friend a rotten apple, you know what I mean? And our investors are our friends, so we want to make sure that we give them something that they can that's worth keeping and holding on to. So we've looked at Mandox because Mandox is a legitimate dox product. Chicago is a legitimate docs product LLC. They actually have a utility. Of course, we can buy whatever we want. No one can tell us that we can't. You know what I mean? So we want to make some kind of partnerships with these people. Say, hey, look, guess what? We're gonna buy $20,000 worth of your token right now. I don't know a token alive or that's still functioning right now that would say, oh no, don't buy any of our tokens and give them away to someone. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but if we had when it's all said and done, we'll have a choice. You'll be able to choose between different ones that you want to earn your rewards in.
Okay, we
So
have another question, Jeremy,
go
from
ahead.
Exelon Crypto Queen. Can you ask him if Ledger Nano X is going to support Saitanobi?
I am not for sure what Ledger Nano X is. So it's I
Is
won't
it like
take
a
it off.
I think it's like a Trezor,
I don't
the
know.
cold wallet?
I'll look into there and see. I don't know if they not have us on there. I'm not familiar with all these all the cold wallets and stuff because there's just so freaking many of these things right here, and
Right.
but I'll check into it. I mean, if it's something we want to we want to be able to be found anywhere. We want to be on all the other exchanges that we can be, and we want to be compatible with everything because we want to be. We're building a brand. I tell everyone we're building a $1 billion business, and the way you do that is you build a brand, just like where everybody knows the name. And although we're at $5 million right now, you don't get to a billion unless you go past 5 million. You've got to be there at some point in time. So we're just we're going to do things and with merchandise, and we're adding utility after utility after utility, and to where
Right. Let's talk about that because I have up now your roadmap. So
okay.
you've got many things checked off phase one and phase two, and actually phase three. So it looks like you're working on phase four here. There are things that, well, should this 2,500 holders should be checked off, right? Didn't we
Now
just discuss
we're at
that you
20
probably,
we're at 2473, so we're almost there.
oh, you're almost there. That's
Yeah.
great. So,
So the airdrop and burn wallet needs to be checked. The 2,500 holders will be checked pretty soon. And the thing about this, when we this is our second website we made. I was like, we just need to get some stuff out there to show all the things that we've checked off the list. This thing will be constantly updated because I somebody was like, "Oh, we need to put these other things that you want to do on the roadmap." I said, "I'm not doing that. I'm not telling them. I'm not telling the world or the other people who could come in here and steal our ideas what our next creation is going to be until we're already creating it. You don't lay the battle plan out there for all the other people to come and steal your battle plan and then create your idea before you can. So
Right. That's
what we're
totally
doing is like,
understandable. But
I
along
mean,
with
it's
the staking, what other utility do you have, or is everything hush hush at this point besides
well,
the staking?
right now what we've implemented is that we don't tell our investors what's coming next down the line until it's already in production, until it's already being created. And so far, we've got the Hanzo wallet, which is named after Hattori Hanzo, a famous ninja swordsman and swordsmaker. And so we named it the Hanzo wallet. And we wanted to be able to have something like we have the staking den. If you look at the staking den, it is named after the wolf. You know, the wolf sleeps in a den, and that's where the wolf goes to rest up. And so that's why we named it the staking den. And then so we wanted the wallet to be named after something about the ninja, so we came up with the Hattori Hanzo, the Hanzo wallet. And it'll be a multi-chain wallet. And right now it's going to start off with at least 4 chains. Will be increased to 8 chains in the future. I can't tell you which ones those are for sure because I can't remember all 8, and I don't know which 4 we're going to do first. So, but that's something that's in the production right now. We've already got that started, and it should be. I've already seen a sneak peek of what it looks like to get started, like the first initial draft of it, and and so that's why I couldn't tell anybody about it until it was already in production. That's just a rule I made, and we want all these things to work seamlessly together, and our next utility 2 to work seamlessly with this, and our staking V1 and then our staking V2 to all work seamlessly with our website, with our wallet, and kind of create a whole ecosystem, if you will, for like a one-stop shop for people.
Well, that's real. Now, how does this work? So, someone purchases the tokens. Where do they have to go to stake them?
Okay, if you'll click up there on the right, the dashboard, where it says view dashboard, up on the red button on the top there. Yeah, click that. Okay, so right here, what you would do if you had tokens and you wanted to stake them, you would click approve, because all ERC20 transactions have to be approved first. You have to pay to approve them. It'll be a small gas fee to do that. So once you click, you first of all, you would see the top right hand corner there where you're like the little wallet, the little white dot. You would click that. It would automatically connect to your wallet. The way I use mine is I have Coinbase wallet, and I actually just I take the staking den dot saitanobi.com and I put it into the browser in the Coinbase wallet. So when you open it up, it automatically connects to your wallet, right?
Okay.
So then you go down here and say you have Saitanobi in your wallet and you want to stake it. Well, then you approve it to be staked, right? And then that button on the right there, the red stake button. Once you approve it, you pay the fee. The stake button will light up. When it lights up, then you click stake, and then you choose how much you want to stake, and then you click stake, and then it'll pop up and you say pay the gas fee to do that. You pay the gas fee, it'll pop up, then you refresh the page and you'll automatically start seeing the Saitama rewards and the Shinja rewards will start counting up there. And you can keep refreshing the page and you can see the APY is pretty high right now, so it would be pretty good if you had some to stake right now. So
Yeah, I see. It's right now for if someone's watching this on a phone, their APY right now is 54%. And has it been higher than that? Like when you first started doing this, what was the APY?
when we first started and we first launched it, the way I did it was people were waiting on it and waiting on it and waiting on it because the team that was actually working on the V1 staking, they got sick. The lead guy got sick, so we couldn't give it to someone else to finish it. We had to just wait. Well, then it just kept dragging on, and so we made the executive decision. We're going to go ahead and start another team working on this, the staking, and then in the meantime, the staking V1 got finished, and I said, nope, just go ahead and continue working on staking V2 because we want to have a better version of it coming out. And this is a simple, rudimentary DApp that works. It's super easy. I've had very little trouble teaching people how to use it. And so anyway, the first APY when we launched it was like 1,700%. So for the first few people that launched there for a little while, they were getting like 1,700% on there. It was crazy. So
Wow. That's how I've noticed the majority of things start off very high, crazy
yes.
amounts. I've seen over 2,000%, but it drops precipitously. The more people participate, it's going to drop. So let's talk about in 3 months. Where do you think that APY is going to be in about 3 months?
I think it's going to stay between. We've seen it as low as, I want to say it was 27% earlier, and now that it's leveled off 27 to 54%. That's a pretty good range there that it's been in, but it normally runs in the 40s. So, but yeah, I mean, it really depends on, we've got 2,500 people in here, and 25% of it staked. I can no longer see you, by the way. I don't know if anyone else can or if it's just me,
Oh,
but your lights are
yeah,
off there.
the camera goes off. It's a Canon camera, so it goes off like every 25 minutes. It automatically turns off. So thank you. I appreciate
No
that.
worries.
But
But no, we want to continue to have people coming in, and we want to continue to have people to staking. I mean, I would like to see it around 30 to 50% of the tokens in circulation being staked would be amazing, because anybody that comes in and says, wait a minute, there's 50% of the tokens are staked, that means people aren't going anywhere anytime soon, and then still have, our market cap continue to increase. So we just want
right.
to show people security, transparency, stability, and that we're not jacking around with the money behind the scenes and pulling liquidity out to do this and that. We relock our liquidity ever so often. We usually relock it when it's at like 95, 98%, it's locked, and then we get liquidity coming in, and then we have to when it gets down in the 80s, we relock it again. It's just a continual thing to keep it where it's appealing for people who go on and check out all the things behind the scenes here. We've got all the Assure KYC, all of the tech rate audits, everything, and our liquidity's locked, our airdrop wallet's locked. I mean, we're just trying to show everybody how solid and stable we are.
Okay, that's good. Now, up here on the screen, you're the only picture that is pictured up there when it lists out the rest of the devs that work along with you. Are they going to put their faces up? And can we talk a little bit about what their jobs are there at Saitanobi? And as of right now, is anybody drawing like a paycheck for Saitanobi?
Uh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I see all three of them's picture up there right now. That's what they do look. That's what they look like, actually. But I'm just kidding. No, I'm just no. So nobody's. We're not drawing any paychecks. This is we're not getting paid. We're not taking money out of the token. That's not how it works. We have our operational cost as far as that goes. We spend our money to buy the things that we need to buy, like our utilities, or paying our developers for that stuff. But we're not taking any money out. Our money's locked, actually. We have a 60-day lock from launch. So, like all of our tokens are locked, and then there's a bot on there that only allows so much sell afterwards once it's released. We did that with anybody that was airdropped wallets, because we wanted to show transparency and safety and security to people, and telling people that, look, we at least think that this thing is going to make it at least 60 days. You know what I'm saying? So we're willing to put our money where our mouth is and lock these wallets. Meta he's my biz dev. He's my guy that takes care of everything for me that I'm not doing. He takes care of everything. Huff and Mr. K, I don't know how I would do what I do without them on the Telegram and on the Twitter. They're literally the admin that takes care of all the other things that has to happen behind the scenes, and keeping the Telegram running, keeping the things updated, getting in touch with the other influencers and the other callers and marketing things. I have to have them. We do a daily update in our chat. If somebody goes in there and you just click /update, it automatically pops up everything that we've done, answers a lot of questions, kind of teaches you about the staking den, and tells you everybody that's working there, with Meta and Huff and Mr. K. And no, I when the time comes, if they need to dox, I'm sure they will. I don't really have a problem with it. I know who they are, and I'm completely doxed. So I don't really see. Now we did docs with the KYC. We had to do that. So I'm sorry, with Certic, we had to do that. So their names are on paper, and IDs and stuff like that are on paper and written down with Certic. So like I said, it's not really necessary, but if it came down to it, in the future, um, I'm sure they would dox, which is something even Shiba Inu hasn't done. We don't even know who that is at this point. So.
Right. So, are they full time on the token? Because you had mentioned
Yeah.
that you have another company that you do as well. So, are any of them just strictly focused on this token, and that's all they do?
All of us are full time. I don't know what else they do. I mean, they may do something else too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I don't know what they do in the meantime, but they're always there when I need them, so that's full time to me. So
Okay. And there's always somebody there on your platforms. This way, if someone has a question, let's say if somebody goes to Telegram right now, is there somebody there to answer questions?
oh yeah, yeah. There's well, and that's it. The mod team that I have that I've assembled. You know what I mean? I kind of I was investor in other tokens, and I found the best people from these other communities who were who engage the people the best and really like to learn and like to teach. And I invited them here to be a part of Saitanobi because I like their attitudes and their approach and then other people along the way I've added to there as far as my mod team. But they can just about answer anything because I give them the information they need to be successful. When someone does ask them a question, they already know the answer. I keep them informed of that. You know what I mean? So, but no, there's usually someone always on there from the team or available. I've got to sleep at least 6 hours a night. So,
Right, I
uh,
hear it. And I should mention that all of your links are in the description box below, link to the website, link to their Twitter, and link to their Telegram. If you're interested in investing, do your research, go check them out, see what people are saying about them on Twitter, go eavesdrop there, slide into the DMs there on Telegram, see what people are saying, how people are feeling about the staking. And, just get a feel for the community. See if it's a
yeah,
positive community because you always want to be a part of a positive community. Once stuff starts getting sour, that's not good. So this token is very new. I'm sure everyone is very positive at this point. So it's a good time to get in and feel, be one of the people that gets there first. They're under 5,000 holders right now. Like you could be one of the very early ones. They could grow this community to be as big as the Wolf Pack, which is 300,000 plus. And like the wolf pack, when you think of the wolf pack, not too many of the holders, I think it's like 80% of them don't have more than like $100 worth of Saitama at this point. So you don't need big money bags to be part of a community.
yeah, and that's what we always say. Everybody's welcome here. We have a saying. It's a questions we educate, FUD we eliminate, holders we elevate, our token will levitate. We want everyone to be positive. All of the people in the mod, they keep it positive. Even if I get a little down because someone is like really dumping on our chart or something like that, they're like, "It's all right, boss. Everything's gonna be good." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know," but to me, it's like when I see that happening, it's not like they're taking money out of my pocket. It's like they're watching them steal from my friends. You know what I mean? And so I
Right.
kind of personal because these people are my friends, and I mean, I talk to them every day. I mean, some of these people that are in my chat, I literally talk to every day, 2 or 3 times a day. I pop in the VC, I do video chats there all the time. Um, I mean, we just talk. We have talks about family and talks about life and work and things that we're doing. So I really do consider them my friends. And so when I see that happening, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to let my friends down. So I always make sure that they keep me positive too. So and I appreciate that. Like I mean, I may have said something in the comment, and one of my guys was like, "I deleted your comment, boss. Don't be mad." And I was like, "No, no, no. That's good. I appreciate you, and that's why
Cooler
you're here."
heads will prevail, right? Let the
Yeah,
cooler heads
exactly.
prevail.
They take care of me, and it's my job as the leader to make sure I take care of them.
Right. So let's talk about getting on to some of the bigger exchanges. And if indeed that does happen, I know it's probably early to talk about that now, but if it does, how are they going to honor your reflection system, being that you're paying in these two different tokens?
I'm not real sure about that yet. I mean, that's a bridge we'll have to cross when we get there, and I'm not real sure how that'll work. And maybe people who buy there are not going to even, that's going to be the least of their worries is the reflections. They may just want to use the other utilities that we'll have by then, because it's going to be very expensive to get listed on those exchanges. I'm talking like 300K plus, to get listed on there.
Right,
And,
that's Binance money right there, 300K, that's Binance money.
yeah. So we're, obviously, if somebody said somebody asked me on an AME, where would you like to list if you could list anywhere right now? And I said, well, Binance, first of all. And then it would be like crypto.com, places where you get a lot of views, a lot of people, and mainstream. Not that the other ones aren't mainstream. They're just not as mainstream as as Binance and crypto.com and well, Gate.io, what we were going to do like Gate,
Oh,
but
what happened there? I mean, people paid this money to get onto an exchange like Gate.io, and now they're closing the gate, so to speak,
well,
and
if
literally and figuratively. So can you imagine the people that ponied up the money for that one? And now and who knows how many other smaller exchanges are going to do that?
Well, I think at this point, the gate needs to give their money back, give them their money back for. And what do you do when your tokens are listed on there? Does everybody just have to sell them all and put them up, buy them somewhere else? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to mess with that headache. That's too much.
Yeah. So I don't mean to
Um,
cut you off again, but I'd like you to address this because somebody in the chat is Sana All Crypto. I'm not sure if I
mhm.
pronounced that right. Is saying such a huge 13% tax. So why don't you go over, your tokenomics here and explain why why it's 13% and where that money is going?
Okay, so originally our treasury tax was 5%. Our reflections were 1%. And because we took a little longer, 10 days or so longer to get our staking den out, I decided to change the treasury tax to 3% and increase the reflections to 3%. So that way, people who are waiting for the staking den to come out would at least get more reflections while they were waiting. You know what I mean? Because I'd already told them it was going to happen, and then there was a delay. So anyway, we changed it. Everybody was happy. They thought that was awesome. That we did that. And then the war in Ukraine took off, and so we decided we wanted to cut that. In the meantime, we launched the wallet. I'm sorry, we launched the staking den, and we had to put money back into the treasury tax, and so we increased it back to 3.5%, but we left that 1.5% there for the to send to the victims of the war in Ukraine. So right now it's 3.5% treasury tax, 1.5% charity tax. We're using that money. We're waiting to get, $10,000 put back so we can send off into a legitimate charity. The 2% auto liquidity tax, the 3% marketing tax, 2% development, and then that adds up 13%. I've seen some with 15%. I've seen them with 10 buy and 20 sell. I've seen them all over the place. I would say
Yeah,
this.
personally, I like the higher sell. It prevents people from flipping it day in, day out. So I don't mind, especially if you're intending on being a hodler. I think having what's known, everyone's calling it the harpoon tax now, the whale tax,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
that set higher, I think it benefits people. It encourages people to hodl. So if being that your contract is not renounced, I mean, you could always impose one of those, and I'm sure your
Well,
hodlers wouldn't mind that.
Well, we can't. Our taxes cannot be offsetting. If we set our main to or our buy at zero, our sell at zero. That's the way our contract is written. We
Oh, it
can't have
is?
offsetting. Yeah, so that really stops us that from being able to happen. And I'll say this about the tax. There's almost 2,500 people who have not had a problem with the tax so far. Um, I don't know. Somebody could say, well, you might have 10,000 if it wasn't for the tax. I don't know. 2,500 people don't have a problem doing it so far and haven't. I think it'll probably be okay. But if in the future, if we're doing well enough, we can always lower the tax. I mean, there's things that we can change. Just depends on how when the money starts rolling and when we hit 500 million market cap or 1 billion market cap. I mean, it really depends. I mean, there's no need in having a massive surplus of money that you're not doing something with. The best way to do it is to give it back in reflections. I guarantee you, if that reflections was 5%, nobody'd be griping about the 13% tax because you're going to be making that back in reflections. So that's the thing about it not being renounced, is there's a way around that. That people is like, okay, well, I don't like this, and then they're like, oh, but I do like this. So I'll stick around
Right.
because I really do like this. So
I have to say that the majority of people that I've spoken to, developers or even just researching different tokens, 12 to 15% has pretty much become the staple. Because
it
if
is.
you look at last year, any of the token, not even last year, but the year before, those tokens, if you look at their tokenomics, a lot of them didn't have marketing wallets. Like Saitama doesn't have a marketing wallet. A lot of them didn't. That's actually a pretty recent thing. So when you look at some of the older taxes, they're significantly less, but they lacked a lot of this marketing wallet, developer wallet. They didn't have a lot of that stuff. And what they learned was they didn't make it. They had to close up shop
Yeah.
because there was nothing with them for them to work with as far as marketing goes. So from there they learned, and you see that inflated tax. But I think 13%, it's common. It's usually
Yeah.
anywhere from 10 to 15. That's very common now.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that when it comes time, if we get up around $1 billion market cap and we start getting $2 and $3 million, volumes and stuff like that, where we're really, if we have this excess amount of money, the best thing to do is to give it back in reflections, and that automatically, if you say, okay, look, we're going to raise our reflections, or we're going to raise our staking, we're going to do this, people are like, oh yeah, okay, sure, I'll stick around because I really like those reflections, and because that means they intend on sticking around. So they want to put their money in where they can draw interest on it. So
No, I'm sorry. I might have been focused on the chat when you mentioned this, but the 1.5 charity tax that's going to the people of um, Ukraine.
yes,
Any chance you're going to get rid of that? Like, or give it to
you
another
know,
thing, or you
we
might just
actually
do away
talked
with
about
it?
that, and I thought, well, we do a lot of polls. We did a Twitter poll, and we did a poll in our chat, and the people that engaged with that, that's where we come up with that number, with the 1.5% tax. That's where we came up with that number. That's what the people wanted. And then I was like, how many people would actually like to just keep this as this and use it for something else? I mean, it doesn't have to always go to Ukraine. It could go to, feed the children. It could go to, getting water to places where they don't have water. It could get medical supplies, education. A big thing that I would like to see the money go to is human trafficking. Fighting human trafficking it is the scourge of the earth, of the people here, all 8 billion people. There's still people who are enslaved in human trafficking every single minute of the day. So I think that would be if I was to champion something and send that charity money somewhere, that's where I would want it to go, or part of it anyway.
Amen. I think that would be a great charity to invest in. But what can we change it? Maybe whittle that charity down to 1%. But hey, because if you're talking about, $1 billion token,
Yeah,
certainly we'd be able to get that charity down to 1% and maybe send some more over to reflections, because right
of
now
course.
everything's a little higher than the reflections. So if we could get that
Yeah.
reflections a little higher, and especially if you think the token is going to be that large.
Well,
I
and
mean,
the
that's
thing is,
still a
that's
nice
the
little
beauty.
chunk of cash there for whatever charity that you decide to give it to.
Well, and that's the beauty of having the unrenounced contract, is because, first of all, like I said, we're very conservative with how we spend the money, very conservative. So if we have a surplus somewhere else and we see that we're going to continue to have a surplus, it just makes good. I've been running a business since I was 20 years old. Okay. If I see I'm having a surplus somewhere else and I don't need to spend that money there, but this place is lacking, or this would be a better use of the money, you just pull that money from here, you put it over there. It's a simple thing to me. Of course, it's not going to be something I'm just going to decide myself. We'll poll the community. We'll talk amongst ourselves, and then we'll decide the way it's going to be. But that is a very good point. Um, the whole goal is to get people to buy in and stay. And so you need to think about things that you can do to keep them there, to make them stay. And that is enticements. What are the enticements? Well, make a lot of money in the staking den. That's an enticement. Make some money in the reflections. That's an enticement. Being safe, secure, transparent, that's an enticement. What can we do to keep it to where people want to buy and stay here? And that's it, hold is gold. If you hold it, they will come. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to promote.
Hold is gold. Oh, I've never heard that one before. That's good.
You know, hold
Hold
is
is
gold.
gold. I hear you. So yeah, like I was saying before, if you're interested in getting into Saitanobi, this is a good entry point. In this area, they have really good support. And we were saying before, the market is just crummy for all of the different tokens, because of the war and everything that's going on with inflation and people being fearful. So, now is a good place to enter if you want to get into this project and if you want to do the staking, because right now it's at 54% APY. So you stake your tokens in there and you're going to earn, for those that are just getting here, you're earning your reflections in Shibnobi and Saitama. So this leads me to a very interesting question. What if one of these tokens closes up shop?
Well,
What
and
do you
then
do?
somebody
What, because that's
asked
you're named after either one of those two, and the reflection, like, what do you do?
so that's what someone else asked us today. And I was like, that's easy. You just add someone else in their place because there's going to be tokens lined up that you can buy. I mean, I could switch over and buy, $1,000, $10,000, $50,000 worth of another token instead of buying that token, and you just replace it with that. And then you start saying, hey, we're no longer doing this. We're no longer rewarding this token. But guess what? We just added Mandocs to our list. My idea would be that you had a dial, if you would, for lack of better terms, like like a spin the bottle kind of thing, where you just dial it around and say, okay, I want to get my reflections in this, in this token here, and then you collect them for a while, and then you could spin it around and say, okay, now I want to get my reflections in Mandocs, and you collect them for a while. But if one of those people fall out, they don't make it, you just take them out the rotation, you pull them out of the hat. So um, but the whole goal would be to have more than just two people there to get your reflections from. I mean, I'm sorry, your rewards.
And we have another question. So at that point, would you change your name?
No, the name's going to be Saitanobi. We love the name. Everybody says, why the name? I said, why not? And then, the joke is all the good names were taken, so we picked this one. I mean, what else could we have named it? It's not going to be an Inu name, that's for sure. That's played out for so many tokens.
Inu
So
is so 2021, right?
it's
Nobody's
so
doing the
old.
Inus
I mean,
anymore.
it's just ridiculous.
So
But
what are you doing as far as marketing internationally?
well, actually, we have a campaign going on right now with a French rapper. I'm not going to give any names or anything until that actually comes down. A big name French rapper, and then we're doing some marketing with an African dance troupe, and and we're trying to put all that together to make it to where we can get some foreign, to me foreign because I'm in America here, to get some foreign interest in here, because it's not, we think American because I live here every day, and there's a lot of, I think this is just recycled money here in America. It just keeps recycling. But if we can get outside and get into Africa, to get into France, to get into other, places in the world where people are maybe interested or don't know how to buy it, then we're going to get some new eyes looking at us. So we're doing going to be doing some more Instagram campaigns. And like I said, that the French rapper is one of the things we've got going now. And also, I'm working with another company who does like internet, Google ads, pop-up ads, and stuff like that. I'm gonna, some targeting, and those are worldwide. You know what I mean? Those will be worldwide. So
Right.
that's what we're doing right now.
Have you thought about working with any influencers that speak a different language, like Indian, or I know it's
Well,
not Indian, it's another language. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but different languages. This way, if somebody's, like you said, in France, someone's doing your videos in French.
and that's what we're working on right now. I actually messaged about 10 people last week, YouTube influencers, who I got on there and tried to listen to their videos, and I was like, I'm gonna have a hard time doing an AMA with this person because I can barely understand what they're saying, and they were speaking English, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm from kind of the South. I'm from Texas and Oklahoma, so my accent may be a little bit strong for them in their English, what they can speak in English, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to try. And but yes, for sure, we do want to branch out and venture out all across the world, because I think that's the only way we're going to really get to get to the numbers like Saitama and like Shinja. Is really just we're going to have to go global. We're going to have to get out there and get some influencers from around the world.
Right. And how many influencers have you worked with already?
So far, we've done just the Americans that we've done here. We did an AMA with Jake Gagan. We did an AMA with Rodney from My Crypto Journeys. Adam Shelton, actually, he comes in our VC all the time. We've done several AMAs with him and several talks with him, and we're going to do more. Um, he's invested in the token. He bought the token. They did it live. There's a video of him doing it that he's keeping track of, and but that's who we've worked with so far. I actually did Bleaves Crypto night before last. I really enjoyed his show. He's a really nice guy. And I've reached out to several other people, in that yourself. Let's see.
And I should mention that I'm not being paid for this AMA. I didn't get paid
Well,
for it. Just I
I've
like
reached,
to tell that to people because, sometimes people think that, I'm getting paid for something and I'm not. So I just want to I'm sure you've paid other influencers.
yeah,
I
some
don't
of them.
care
That's
about
just the
that,
only way we can get
but
out there.
I haven't. So
Well, and I appreciate that, and like I said, I was like, well, this is an interesting opportunity. Some of the other female, crypto people, they are literally astronomical to just get an AMA with them. I'm like, what? I mean, wow. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not worth it. I don't know. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I'm like, I mean, I really want to talk to get more women into crypto. Period. You know what I mean? Like, not just into Saitanobi, but I want to make sure that they have just an equal opportunity as the men do. But in order to do
right.
that, I
But
need,
have you paid some of the men influencers?
yeah, some of the other ones that are more expensive. I mean, they're it's crazy what they charge. Some of them, there's no way we're gonna. Some of even some of the men, there's no way I'm gonna pay that kind of money for them.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't pay them that for dancing at my funeral. You know what I mean? There's no way. There's just it's crazy, and people say,
I
oh, but
know
they've
it's crazy, but that's what they charge. So you either pay it or you don't get on there. Like
yeah,
I've learned it myself. Like
that's
you
fine.
either dance with them or you're not going to dance with them. And I mean, but obviously sometimes you have to be careful because there are influencers that you pay and they do the pump and dump on you. So they might temporarily pump up your chart, but then it's
We don't
going to
want that.
dump.
Yeah,
So,
I don't. I'm not
you have
interested
to
in
be
paying somebody.
picky when it comes to that.
Yeah, I'm not interested in paying somebody $30,000 or $40,000 to come and do a call for us so that we can get pumped and dumped. I'll tell you why, because that hurts the investors that I've got now. The investors that's going to come, yeah, they're probably going to take a little in the shorts there too as along the way. But the ones that I've got now who are stable, they're not going anywhere. It's going to hurt them too. So it's to me, it's like that's my way of protecting them. Yeah, I'm not letting this happen because it's going to hurt us, not help us. Those people are going to come, they're going to pump it up, and they're not going to stay. So most of the things we've done here, you see those numbers. That's organic numbers. That's numbers that we have built over the past 6 weeks. Organic numbers, almost 2,500 holders, organic numbers with very few influencers or callers calling us. So we're very proud of that, and we're very stable, and I mean, I don't know, we're just happy to be as far as we are. I mean, we're doing the best that we can. I think it's a really crappy market right now. If the market was, if this was October of last year, we'd already be at $1 billion market cap.
Probably. Yeah, because we had a nice little bull run last year, but
Yeah,
that's, it is what you have to adapt.
yeah.
and move
It's very
on,
optimistic.
and you have to roll with the flow, and this is what we have to work with. So
That's
when it's
right.
a bear market, it's always an opportunity to buy. Make sure that you're researching whatever you're interested in buying. So I always say that this is not financial advice. I wasn't paid for this video. I brought the developer on here so that he could talk about his project, bring some value to my subscribers. This way they can hear about different projects, see if it's something that sounds good to them, that they would be interested in getting in. Is there the potential of making money? If you plan on being a long-term hodler, it sounds like a good deal. You put your tokens in there, you stake them, getting 54% APY. That sounds good.
Sounds good to
It
me
does. It
too.
sounds really good.
Yeah.
By the way. So right now, are any plans for any other smaller exchanges or anything else going? Anything in the hopper that you can leak? I know you can't talk about everything. We were
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
that
yeah.
before we went
Um,
live. There's a lot on the plate that's secret that you can't talk about. My camera again. But
your
you
camera
do have
glitching.
other utility that's going to be there. It's a little secretive right now, but any little morsels that you want to throw out to anybody there, if they're on the fence about maybe dipping their toe in the water of Saitanobi, anything you'd like to say to them?
I can't give out any more information. I cannot, and I won't because I'm not going to let my people down, and I don't want them to be. Uh, I don't want to say anything that's going to cause them to get let down or to be hoping for something that I'm not able to produce. That's just a responsibility that I feel that I have. And the second thing is I don't want to be answering that question every day for the next 6 months. I heard you say this with Tammy, when is this going to happen? You know what I mean? Because that's what happens. Is like it's like you taking your kids to Disney World. They're like, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there?" No, we're not there yet. We're getting there. Well, are we there yet? Listen, I'm doing the best that I can here. We can't make this go any faster. We'll get there when we're there. So, but no, I don't really have anything right now that I'm. The French rapper thing was there. That was kind of a morsel because nobody really knew about that
Oh,
yet too much. So, because that'll get us into a new
right.
market there. Especially, this person has millions of views uh, on their videos, millions. So,
Oh, that's
uh,
good.
yeah, it could be a big thing. So, because everybody's going to be like, "Who is Saitanobi and what?" And that's going to
Right.
cause them to do the search, and then they're like, "How do I buy this? How does this work?" You know what I mean? So,
Do you have a little, well, you're probably using Adam's video if he did a purchase, but do you have his video like pinned in your Telegram somewhere? If somebody comes in and says, you know what, I don't know how to use a wallet. I've never bought anything. I don't even know how to, do you just refer them to the link of his video where they can watch him go
yes,
through the
and that's
process?
what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing. But if somebody comes into the Telegram, I mean, literally all of the mods in there, just about at any time, that's what happens. Somebody comes in, I can't get this to work, blah blah blah. I mean, if you can use Uniswap, you can use the staking DApp. It's that simple. It's that easy. But we do have things pinned in our Telegram that you can read, and there's always someone in there that'll help. I mean, like because of the being around the clock, like when I go to bed, I look and see who's in there, and I'm like, all right, well, these guys are going to be up for the next 4 or 5 hours. I know because I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and heard them in there talking or chatting or whatever, and then there's um, another group that comes on from like England is 6 hours behind me or ahead of me. So by that those guys get up and they start their day, and then they're in the chat, and it's like we just have 24-hour coverage almost. So, um, but
So
literally,
there's always somebody there to help or answer
just about,
questions.
yeah.
Just go to
And
the
that's the thing about
Telegram.
the mods that we have. Yeah, they're just always there, and they're always helpful. So
And as I mentioned before, in case you're just joining in, all of the links for Saitanobi are down in the description box. Website, Twitter, Telegram. If you're interested in purchasing into Saitanobi, check them out. Go check their website out. Check out their roadmap. Look at their white papers. See what the community is saying in Twitter and Telegram. Just get a feel for it and make a decision because it sounds like a nice, sweet little project. And as I mentioned earlier, they are in a dip right now. So and there happens to be strong support in this area. So if you're interested in getting in, now's a good time to get in. Oh, hold on a second. I see question. Wait a second. I don't want to hold you too much longer from your girls. Poor Jeremy. He's in Florida with his girls right now. Question, I see the amount of tokens, but from that supply, what's going to happen for the token burn for the next 3 months? Thank you. So this is somebody who clearly just got here because you did mention
Yeah,
the
we
burn
explained
before.
that. Mhm.
So if John Patrick, if you want to go back and rewatch the video, because he did address the token burn, they don't have token burn in their tokenomics, but if somebody pulls out of the staking early, whatever their whatever the penalty was, those tokens are going to be burned. What was that percent again?
Well, it's and that's tentatively what we're planning on doing with our staking V2, which will be coming out with the wallet. Um, but it could be 3 to 6% for 30 days, 2 to 4% for 60 days, and 1 to 2% for 90 days, and then zero afterwards. None of that's set in stone. We will do a poll to see what the community wants. Because you're going to get both sides of the coin there. You're going to ask the community, and they're going to say, okay, well, I would rather have it this, and this because I'm going to hold. And the other sides will like, look, I'm not really that much of a long-term holder, so I want it this. But then whoever wins out will take that into consideration, and that's what we'll make it.
Great. Well, Jeremy, I appreciate you coming by the Crypto Queen channel, taking your time out from your vacation. I hope you have a wonderful time with the girls, that you went with them. That's awesome that
Yes.
you took your time out to do that. That's really great. And I appreciate you dropping by the court of the Crypto Queen.
Well, I appreciate you very much for having me, and I would like to thank all of your viewers that maybe haven't seen an AMA with me yet. And I want to thank all of my team that came to show their support. They're the most supportive in the whole crypto space for me, and I appreciate everything that they do. Huff, Mr. K, Meta, all of my guys in the mods. I appreciate everything you guys do for me, and we're gonna stay strong and keep this family strong, and we're gonna move on our road to 1 billion. So.
And I hope you get there. So maybe if you hit a certain benchmark, we'll bring you back on so that we can talk about, the things that you've accomplished. Maybe when you launch the Hanzo wallet, it'd be great to have you on to talk about it. And
Yes,
we'll take it from there. But until then, I hope you enjoy your vacation. I hope you have a lot of fun with your girls. Please be safe. God bless. And that's going to do it here for us today. You guys, I thank you so very much for joining me. Thank you for being very nice to Jeremy. I appreciate that. And until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, try to only buy on those red candles.